Hi there, welcome to the Willows Therapies. I wanted to do a short video on something that's called the negative bias. And what I mean by negative bias is the tendency to only register the negative things that happen in our life more than the positive. And the reason why I've decided to do this video is because I've come across, and it's happened in my life as well, I come across people who say things like, why can't I stop thinking about that one bad thing when there's so much to be happy for? Why do I feel stuck thinking about the negatives or the setbacks that I've been through? Why do I tend to be much more impacted by negative events rather than positive ones? And things like this can really influence how we feel, how we think, and how we act. And when I did some research on this, I discovered that psychologists refer to this as the negative bias. And this is the tendency not only to register negative stimulus more readily, but also to really dwell on these negative events. Why? Well, this is because negative events have a greater impact on our brains rather than positive ones. Okay, so that's interesting. But why? And it's because we're more likely to notice negative things and then later remember the negative things more vividly. So, to go into a bit more detail, for example, you might be having a great day at work or just a generally great day wherever you are. Then someone makes that comment that really irritates you, and you find yourself really stewing over the words that this person has said for the rest of the day. And then at the end of the day, later on, somebody says to you, how was your day today? And you reply, terrible. And really, overall, it's been good. It was just despite that one negative incident, which you have said to somebody who's asked about your day, I've had a terrible day, and I've done that so many times in the past. So another example, you did something in front of your family or your friends, and you can still recall it very vividly, and you cringe with embarrassment about this one thing that you did, even now, even though it was ages ago. So something you did ages ago, and every time you think about it, you're like, oh no, why did I do that? And you still think about it and you cringe, even though your family or your friends or whoever you were with have totally forgotten about it. You're replaying those images thinking, why did I do that? And things like this, the negatives, and they can really have a significant role in your everyday life. It can have a role in your motivation when you're pursuing goals, when you're pursuing dreams, your relationships, your decision making, when forming impressions of others. So what can I do about it? And there are steps that you can do that I do with my clients to change your mindset, such as, and the first tip that I can give you is working on your negative self-talk. And I do a whole session on negative talk, which I've already done a video on, so you can catch up with that, or it's on my YouTube channel. So negative self-talk, so really pay attention to the thoughts that are running through your mind. Be aware, question them, challenge them, because as soon as you do that, you put a different spin on it. And the more you do that, the more the habit you'll get into, and really challenge what you're thinking, challenge these negative thoughts. As I say, I've done a video on negative self-talk. You can check it out on my YouTube channel. You find the details below. Another great tip for you is establish new patterns. So what I mean by that is look for anything uplifting. So an uplifting activity to put yourself out of that negative mindset. Do something that brings you joy. So for example, go for a walk, get out in nature, listen to some upbeat music, dance like nobody's watching, like I always do. Read an uplifting book. One of my other favourite tips is, for this negative bias, is to savour the positive moments. And I say that so many times to myself and to my clients. Give those moments attention. So when something great happens, take that moment, sit with it, meditate on it. You know, it doesn't have to be half an hour, it can be a couple of minutes. Just do breathing, just really be in that moment, replay that moment several times, enjoy the positive moments, ask yourself, what does that evoke in you? Some of the tips for you if you give it a go. So I've given you some more handy tips on dealing with negative bias in my monthly newsletter. So if you'd like to sign up for this, you can go to my website, www.thewillowsholistictherapies.co.uk, and also when you sign up you receive a 90-day planner to plan your visions and your dreams for the next 90 days. Thank you very much. Much love from my heart to yours. Thank you for listening.